Well, more reactions have trailed the memoir by former military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. A journey in service unveiled last week. Babangida, in the memoir, had claimed that forces against the June 12 election were led by the late General Sani Abacha, his chief of defense staff, who later became military head of state. The election, which was widely regarded as the freest and fairest election in Nigeria's history, was presided over by the late Professor Humphrey Nwosu, the NEC chairman at the time. Well, in an interview that has resurfaced online, Professor Nwosu mentioned several names of those he said were involved in the schemes that led to the annulment of the election. Let's take a look.
There was someone at the level of the National Defense, Security and Defense Council.
Headed by Babangida?
Babangida and Abacha was prominent. They said, okay, that a committee headed by Abacha should find a solution to the problem. I said, how do we find a problem? We should be allowed to conclude what we started. He said, Abacha. In that committee, I'm quoting names. Abacha was in it. Nyako. Nyako was in it. General Aliyu Gusso was in it. David Mark was in it. Was the Minister of Communication. I was in it. Secretary of the Commission, Director of Legal Services was in it. Professor Deria, National Commissioner representing Rivers State. We met in Abacha. When we met in Abacha's house, guest house in Abuja, he set another subcommittee, including myself, Akwambo, late now, Akilu, the Secretary of the Commission, I think one other advisor-in-law in the State House. When we got at that subcommittee level, I told them, gentlemen, there is nothing for us to meet. The law is clear. Elections have been conducted. Results have been collected. The only one remaining is that of Taraba, and he had come along with it. Please allow us to conclude. We are a technical body. We are not politicians. In any case, if you don't want us to release the result, you should call Abiola and Tofa or negotiate with Abiola. That Abiola was the winner. We went back to Abacha's guest house, and I reported, well, sir, the law that allowed us to conclude this election made no provision for this technical body, for your committee. You should allow us to conclude the result with that of Taraba and announce it. Or you call in Abiola and negotiate with him. He shouted on me, who are you to tell us what to do? You are not a member of National Defense and Security Council. You are not. The council and the court decided you should not conduct the election. You went ahead and conducted the election, that it was illegal. You will recall, throughout Abacha's regime, his Minister for Information regarded our election as illegal. Go to Asorok, where all of us will now take a decision. When we got there, Babangida said, NEC, National Electoral Commission, what is your position on this election? I said, sir, allow us just 2 minutes so that it will not be Humphrey Nwosu's decision. It will be that of National Electoral Commission. Sir, this is the decision of the Commission. Allow us to conclude this election and announce the result. And that we will challenge that letter, court decision, which Commissioner of Police served on me, that we should stop announcing it. So he said, okay, you people are on your own.
Babangida said that.
The decision of their.
All right. This interview was conducted by Omoyele Sowore about 10 years ago, I believe. Yeah. I mean, and then we have the memoir. Absolutely, in this voice, in this recording, you could hear Professor Humphrey Nwosu corroborating what IBB had said, that the person who led that whole annulment was General Sani Abacha. Well, more reactions have trailed the memoir by former military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. A journey in service unveiled last week, Babangida in the memoir had claimed that forces against the June 12 election were led by the late General Sani Abacha, his chief of defense staff, who later became military head of state. The election, which was widely regarded as the freest and fairest election in Nigeria's history, was presided over by the late Professor Humphrey Nwosu, the NEC chairman at the time. Well, in an interview that has resurfaced online, Professor Nwosu mentioned several names of those he said were involved in the schemes that led to the annulment of the election. Let's take a look.
There was someone at the level of the National Defense, Security and Defense Council.
Headed by Babangida.
This is so sad. This is sad. It means that the Mr. Humphrey is already dead. Can you imagine? This interview was done 10 years ago. See, Nigerians, we need to put an end to things like this.
How do we find a problem?
Because if they are calling him late, which means the Professor Humphrey is already gone. Hey, Jesus.
In that committee,
So why is Abacha's children? Why are they now? The Abacha children? Why are they now saying that Babangida is lying? Like, why are they now making it look like he's telling a lie? Like, do you understand? Why are they making it look like the man is lying? He's telling the truth, meaning that they overpowered him. They last, oh God. But how can you, as head of state, be overpowered by your chief of staff because you are afraid of him? Hey. But you see, God, they kind of, how they call it, the way he served, the way God served Abacha breakfast then. Because I remember how people were calling him a tyrant, and then one day we just said that Abacha was no more. We're very little. So when I see people doing anyhow in Nigeria, I look at them and say, it's the same God. Hey, yeah, this professor, they call him late, which means he has gone to be with the Lord. But at least there was an interview, and this story was told. So this story kind of, is saying the same thing the IBB said, but it has exposed it has rather made, how will I put it? It has made mockery of Abacha's children because they've been tweeting, they've been, let me say, Xing, because that's no longer tweeting, they've been Xing, writing, some cryptic messages and, saying some kind of unkind words towards IBB, but it is IBB's fault also because somebody told you that he doesn't want a certain people to be in power or a particular person to be in power, that he cannot be alive, and see that those people lead him, and you agreed as head of state. That's, you are like president, but because you are not elected, it was true, and you came in and allowed him to do as he wished. So which means people can actually, this thing they used to say that, Buhari was president too, but there was a man who was the one calling the shots, which was that man that died of COVID. What's that his name again? That man that they were saying guys, let me know in the comment section if you can remember that man. That they said he was the one that was calling the shots in the villa. Whatever he said was no.
You will recall throughout Abacha's regime.
His name, So this thing, this is that people, they are cabals. So Abacha was one of those cabals. But you see the way Abacha, so which was IBB was living with that guilt. For him to have come out to confess, he was living with the guilt. But I don't know how. Sani Abacha's children are going to feel knowing this side of their father. And somebody, this is an interview that was done by the chairman of that organization for 10 years ago, and the man is no longer alive, but this interview was done. So you see, this is why these are the kind of information Sowore is privy to, and that's why he talks to government anyhow with reckless abandon, and he doesn't care. Guys, let me know your thoughts on the comment section, because this revelation is mind-boggling, it's sickening, it's sad. It's sad as a country. It is very, very sad, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section. Thank you for watching. See you next time.